What's up, YouTube? I'm gonna tell you what's up here in the Philadelphia region. The heat. It's about 100 degrees outside. Got a call from the boys before I got to the office. They said the air conditioner isn't working. So immediately I just thought that they were, whining as usual. It was a little warm because I set the thermostat up in the building before I left here last night. But when I got to the shop, it was indeed 10 degrees hotter than the thermostat was set. And then I knew that there was a problem. So I started with my troubleshooting process because, quite frankly, I've been calling my HVAC subs the last few days because I get tons and tons of calls from friends, family, neighbors. My air conditioner's not running. I said, well, aren't you lucky? You don't have to go catch it. Boom, boom, boom. And they kind of get mad at me. And then they said, what should I do? So listen, all I could do is call my buddies, see how their backlog is. They're swamped right now. So, quite frankly, I didn't want to bother my friends because I have a little process for troubleshooting HVAC that they taught me for simple fixes. Now, this isn't an in-depth tutorial on how to replace or fix or recharge your HVAC system. But if you're a homeowner or business owner, or maybe you're at the house and quite frankly you have small children and it's 100 degrees outside, temperatures inside the house, especially with little kids or even elderly, can become dangerous. Quite frankly, what I do is I keep a couple of these handy when I get those calls because my parents are a little bit older and I don't want them to not have air conditioning, especially when it's 100 degrees outside, because the heat can cause a stroke, a heart attack, and I love my parents. So I know some of you HVAC people out there are gonna be pissed, but I'm willing to take the heat, so to speak, no pun intended, if it will help the elderly or help some small children to get through the season. Quite frankly, it might take some of the workload off of you guys. You're so busy replacing, units that are severely damaged and don't require this simple $15 part to get them up and running possibly. So, let's get up on the roof.
The heat is on the street.
We got voltage on both sides. No blown fuses. Time to go deeper. It could be something as simple as the capacitor, bro. Not everything has to be
a huge problem.
It doesn't have to be a huge problem. Let's cross our fingers and go with the lowest common denominator first. You know what I mean? Why couldn't this happen on Saturday when King of the Crease is here?
There's your capacitor, right?
The flux. The flux capacitor. There's a lot going on.
Wires look good.
There's a lot going on there, man. We got an even bigger problem.
What's that?
Wrong one? Replacement capacitors, the wrong size. I mean, when I say the wrong size, I mean the
For
wrong
the strap.
The wrong shape.
You have to drill a new hole.
What's that?
For the strap.
test it. You know, I'm gonna test it.
Test the voltage.
I'm gonna test it by what's it called? Hooking up a new one. If it works, it'll be great. If it doesn't work, I might have to go get a different capacitor. I might need the flux capacitor. That's my amount of troubleshooting knowledge. It's where it begins and it ends.
Capacitor.
Yeah. You replace it. If you encounter a unit like that, okay, that the fan's not kicking on and the compressor's running, compressor will it will shut itself off as a protection, thermal protection from overheating, because the fan's not running. Okay, it will continue to try to kick back on though, kick on, kick off, kick on, kick off.
I don't think it's because the fan.
It is because of listen to me.
It's removing the hot air.
Right.
It doesn't need.
Right, it's removing the hot air and keeping the it can't remove. Listen to me, it
taking
can't
it
remove the
in.
heat.
Yeah.
The compressor has thermal protection that protects itself and will shut itself off. Okay. Now, the fan could be not kicking on for a couple of reasons, but the lowest common denominator for me is to change the capacitor. See if the fan kicks on. And if you're having any screeching, it doesn't start easy or whatever, you then might need to replace the fan motor as well, because that could be the reason why the capacitor burned out to begin with, okay? Vice versa, the fan can be running, but the compressor might not be running. The capacitor might not have the charge to kick the compressor on, okay? So, either or, you would want to start with the lowest common denominator and replace that capacitor. Where's John HVAC? I bet you CC can help me here. Boom! It was a capacitor! The flux capacitor! Problem solved. You hear it?
Yeah.
Now, as long as it don't shut off, we'll be okay. Was that? Yeah, it wasn't running a minute ago. As long as it doesn't click off in a second, it was a simple capacitor. If it clicks off, then we're gonna know that it's a problem with the compressor, or it could be low freon. But sometimes when you have a surge in heat, the weak link, and we're like at 100 degrees, and this is the hottest it's been, recently. So a lot of times your weak link could be the capacitor. I'm no HVAC tech, but I'm the lowest common denominator type dude. Like I will try to swap out a capacitor when I can. I will say this, depending on your area, your supply houses, and availability, your mileage may vary. You might not be able to pick up this simple component because you could require an EPA card and an EPA number. It's understandable. It's the way the refrigeration in HVAC world works. It just so happens that I have somebody on staff that has an EPA number. But quite frankly, the supply house that I deal with for HVAC components, I walk in with the part that I need, they give me the replacement part that is required. So, your mileage may vary, you might not be able to get your hands on this part. The good part is that I keep a couple capacitors laying around, because although I'm not an HVAC tech, I do tinker with things. And when friends or family will call me up, my air conditioner's not working, who do I call? A lot of times, my HVAC subs and friends that are in HVAC, they're so backlogged, especially this time of year where the temperature jumped up. What they'll do is they'll be like, yo, just go over there, see if you can swap out a capacitor. So I keep a couple capacitors laying around for situations just like this.
Refurbish it.
I'm gonna try to take that apart and rebuild the internal components of that capacitor. I'm gonna see if I could turn it into a flux capacitor. because the flux capacitor is what makes time travel possible. So the flux capacitor does not make time travel possible, but it does allow us to teleport from the rooftop down to the shop again. Listen, I gotta tell you, if you feel in over your head, you're gonna wanna call your HVAC tech. If you have to wait a week, you have to wait a week. Maybe you call around, get some emergency service. But I tinker, I have direction from friends, and actually had direction from a fellow that's here on full-time staff, has his EPA card, just is what it is, so I'm able to make this easy repair. Your mileage may vary. If you don't feel comfortable doing it, don't touch it. Make sure the power's off. Make sure that you're following all your safety codes. Don't do anything you shouldn't do. That doesn't necessarily mean don't do what I wouldn't do, or something or other. But if you like making simple repairs on equipment that could make you roast, okay, literally in your house, make simple repairs, not have to wait a week to get it done, smash the like button. If you like our channel, like our content, and like our style, get subscribed. But as always, thanks a lot. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next one. This is the deal. I didn't make the video to like rain on anybody's parade. Or the reality is that we had a bad capacitor here. I need to get my air conditioner up and running in the office here. I don't want to suffer heat stroke. Nick decided to turn the camera on. It's just what happens in the daily course of business. Quite frankly, I'm not going to wait around for somebody to repair something that I could repair myself. I have the resources, I do it, you know? Could have worked, it might not have worked, I might have had to call the expert, but I'm the lowest common denominator. Check my breakers first, they're fine, go up on the roof, see a fan running, I figured probably a capacitor. Was it the flux capacitor? No, I mean, we didn't need to get the compressor up to 88 miles an hour, we just needed to get it running. Did you like that video? Wondering what to watch next? Well, why don't you click over here and watch this video? Or click over here and watch this video. If you really like our content, we hope you consider getting subscribed by clicking right here. Thanks a lot, and have a great day, guys.